Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. Cardano hardly moving at all. Yeah, there was a little bit of volatility, but not really that much here in the last 24 hours. Currently 1.57% to the downside. If we take a look at the Cardano chart, you can really see the price is hardly moving at all. I'm surprised it's actually moving sideways. Could just move not at all. So you know, it's currently getting squeezed. It's getting squeezed more and more. And that is a good thing, because after this gets released, basically, yeah, and the Cardano price frees itself from this sort of constraint, Cardano should make a jump. It's pretty much like a spring which gets released, and we are really getting close here. And depending on how you draw this descending wedge, but it doesn't really matter, because you get, either way, you get into an apex now. You're really getting into this apex of this descending wedge. And yesterday I showed you another way of drawing this wedge, which was a bit larger, but I can't even remember how I think this is actually the one. But even in this scenario here, you can see the price is hardly moving and it's adhering to this descending wedge. So we should really see here a decision probably in the next couple of days. You know, it can't just move anywhere anymore. Therefore, it needs to make a decision here in this descending wedge. Should we really see a breakout to the upside, probably the first conservative target would be here the 120 level. That would be what I would consider the beginning of the wedge. Or if you draw it a little bit differently, then you could even consider here this 160 level as target of that descending wedge. So we have seen various cryptos break out of that descending wedges now, a few of them at least. Not various cryptos, a few of them. Rune was one of them, where we had this descending wedge. Other cryptos haven't done it yet, really. So we are still seeing, I think, Polkadot in a descending wedge, Chainlink, VeChain, all of them are currently in a descending wedge. Really curious to see how this is going to play out. If we see breakouts, does it mean the low needs to be in already? No, we cannot confirm that. That will have to be told by the price structure. And if we see a first impulse to the upside. But of course, money can be made if there is a breakout to the upside. For me, what we need to see if Cardano really breaks out of this descending wedge would be ideally a retest of the wedge plus volume confirmation to the upside, plus what I would want to see is a move above the $1.01 level or $1.02. So this is the level where we found resistance before, where we found support before. It's also a psychological level around $1, yeah. This is where I want to see the price to go above and also hold above that level. So there is no reason to FOMO in, because if we really get into a sustainable uptrend for Cardano, we can expect prices of way above $4 as a minimum, yeah, for the next major wave up. But until really Cardano, because there have been a few fake outs, yeah, until really Cardano moves at least above $1, I'm staying skeptical with Cardano. To be honest, to really talk about a sustainable uptrend for Cardano because of the history and how long this correction has been taking, you would really want to wait above 160 or even 245. I know that is quite a lot, but other than that, you won't be able to really confirm an uptrend. But of course, there are other ways of minimizing your risk, like using a stop loss and so on. So you don't need to wait until that level to go in. Absolutely not. When you buy, it's absolutely your choice. And I'm already dollar cost averaging in at least prices, because I find Cardano below $1 is for me very attractive, and even given the growth of the network. So I'm a big friend of Cardano, and I'm a holder of Cardano as well. And I continue to accumulate when my buy orders are reached. Primarily, and I said that as long as we are still in this descending channel here, as long as we are still in a descending wedge and a descending channel, as long as we still are below the 20 or the 50-day moving average, my primary expectation just objectively has to be that we are coming down lower, and the next main support will be at 55 cents. That is the 78.6% FIB level, which doesn't mean we have to get there. Cardano did what it needs to do to complete the correction. It made a lower low. This was the low here back in July 21, the $1.02 level that I just mentioned. That's also why I want to get above that level. That's a very critical and important level. Yeah. Until then, I just have to assume we are going to see further downside potential, further downtrend, because if we are in a downtrend, and as long as we are not back in an uptrend, I have to assume we are still in a downtrend. Yeah, it's as simple as that. So that's what I'm waiting for. Nevertheless, there are positive signs on the chart, like this descending wedge, okay? Or even here we talked about that, was it on the weekly? No, I think on the monthly even, where you are seeing that stochastic RSI now finally flattening out. And it can only run flat now. And if you then see it jump up, you get that bullish crossover, and then that could be another buy signal. But the MACD is still heading down on the monthly as well. And on the weekly as well, we are still very low, but we are oversold as well on the weekly RSI, stochastic RSI. The weekly MACD is continuously reducing negative momentum. So the signs are getting more positive, but we don't have a confirmed move to the upside. And one level that I'm really looking at is here on the daily RSI, that red line, which is the weekly RSI, because the weekly RSI hasn't really been crossed on a sustainable basis since September 21. Whenever we crossed it, there was a breakout to the upside, oftentimes fake outs, but this is still a level that I'm watching out for. The 50 level of the RSI on the daily is important. We can also see here short term a bullish crossover on the daily MACD, and that again could support a potential breakout of that descending wedge, but we don't know if the breakout is there until it is there. And for me, that would be a breakout would be above 82 cents, and to the downside would be below 76 cents. Okay, that's what I'm looking out for. And primary expectation, as I said, remains first of all to go down further, but I'm open for an outcome either way, and then we know how to react to it. Generally at the moment, my strategy is anyway for Cardano to dollar cost average in, but there is a short-term long trading opportunity if you see a breakout here and a volume confirmation to the upside and a retest. But I would want to see a breakout above $1 or $1.02, because if that doesn't happen, there is a risk, a big risk, we get rejected here, like Gala did when Gala broke out of its triangle or descending wedge, where it was rejected at the previous high. Yeah, and therefore that retest is always very, very important. Yeah, that's my view here on Cardano. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.